Okay, hello, I'm Samuel Schmitz. I'm an undergrad student right here at Wright State. I've probably been working with MIDCA for maybe 3 weeks at most, so this is all very new to me and I've learned a lot of information today. Now, today I'll be giving you an example of one of the demos that are built inside of MIDCA, and then I will be giving a brief summary of my experience with MIDCA. So right now I'm going to run the cog side demo, which is located in the examples folder of MIDCA. Thank you.
Can you change the font? I thought that you just Control plus maybe. Oh yeah.
Oh, font. Oh, font right there.
Yeah.
And then like 18, yeah.
Okay. More? Even more? You do.
I mean, it has to like.
Let's do 20. I think 20 would be better.
Okay.
Oh, that's
I think I accidentally opened it up.
You have to go one directory up. So just do cd dot.
Yeah, I'm in examples.
Yeah.
Cog.
Oh yeah, you say.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, on the Windows one you don't have to. Okay, that's why. Yeah. Okay. So this is what it looks like once you get into the demo. It'll tell you some basic commands like press enter to move on to the next stage, or if you type in the question mark, it'll give you some brief other commands like Q as in quit, or if you want to skip a couple amount of cycles in the MIDCA example, you can do that. But we're just going to move on. So the point of this demo is for MIDCA to stack all the blocks on top of each other, but not to have any of the triangular blocks have any of the rectangular blocks stacked on top of the triangular blocks. So the first stage MIDCA is going to do is it's going to perceive the world and observe everything that's in it. So in this case, it's going to have all 4 of the blocks in there. And then it's going to generate a goal, and as we can see there, the first goal it wants to generate is that it wants to place the C block on top of the B block. So for the evaluation phase, that goal has not been officialized yet, so it's going to skip this phase, and now it's going to select that goal. Now it's going to generate a plan on everything it's going to do to achieve that goal. So as we can see there, what it wants to do is it wants to unstack the D block from the B block, put it down, then pick up the C block, and then place the C block on top of the B block. In the act phase, it's going to select the first action from its planning phase. So in this case, it's going to unstack the D triangular block from the B block. And then it's going to show us how the world is now. So currently, we can't see the D block, but it's being held by MIDCA. So then it's going to do the perceive world again. It's going to do the perceive phase again, and it's going to observe the world again to make sure and check if anything's been changed. Since nothing has been changed, it's going to go and continue on with its current goal. And since that goal has not been achieved, it's going to continue with the same goal I had at the beginning, which is to place the C block on top of the B block. So then it's going to select the goal, and then it's going to retrieve the old plan since nothing has changed, and it's going to follow through with that and check to make sure that it's valid, which it is. So now it's going to select the next action from the plan, which is to put the D block down. And as we can see, the D block is now down on the table. So I'm going to go ahead and skip this next phrase so we can see what happens when MIDCA achieves its goal. So now it's going to see nothing has changed. It's going to still continue on with the same goal. It's again going to pick up the C block, and now it's in its hand. So it's going to perceive the world again. Nothing's changed. Then it's going to go through one more time, and now the C block is on top of the B block, and its goal has been achieved. So now once it observes the world, it's going to notice, okay, we don't have a goal anymore because it's been achieved, and not all the blocks have been stacked yet. So then it's going to do nothing for the next cycle of phases. Now once the world has been observed again, it's going to be able to, in the interpret phrase, to generate a goal. So in this case, it wants to place the D block on top of the C block. It's then going to skip the evaluation phrase. And now it's going to officially select that goal, and that's the current one that it wants to achieve. So it wants to place the D block on top of the C block. So now it's going to plan, just like it did for the last goal, the list of steps it wants to take in order to achieve that goal. So in this case, it wants to pick up the D block and then place it on top of the C block. So now it's going to select one of the actions from the plan. So it's going to pick up the D block, and now as we can see there in the visualization that the D block has been picked up. It's then going to observe the world again, and since nothing has changed in the world, it's going to skip the interpret phrase. So now it notices that all its goals have not been achieved yet. So it's going to reselect that last goal it had, which is to place the D block on top of the C block. And it's going to make sure that the plan is still valid that it had from the last time, which as we can see from here, it says it is. So it's going to select the action to stack the D block on top of the C block. And then as we can see, it has successfully placed the D block on top of the C block. So this is the end of the demo, as we can see. And I picked this demo as one of the ones to demonstrate because to me this was the easiest one to read and understand exactly what was going on. It specifically states every single stage and what it's doing in that stage, and it gives a nice visualization of what's happening. You get to see each block get picked up, get put down, get placed. So for me this was the best example in the examples folder for a beginner.
More than chicken cross the road?
Yes, more than chicken cross the road. The problem with the chicken cross the road example was that since it only had one goal and it only had one step, it just went by so quickly that I couldn't fully understand. Like, I knew what it was doing, but in the steps phrase, I couldn't specifically see, okay, this is what it's doing here. So I preferred the block one a little bit more since I could see exactly what was happening. And if you look at the wiki on GitHub, this cog-sci demo is also one of the recommended demos to try on your first time. So now, I think I can just pull it up on my flash drive. Yeah. Oh, whoops, wrong one. Oh, I have to open with PowerPoint. Okay. That's okay. So bear with me a moment, please. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm clicking on everything.
Just open it right there. And then it's okay. Just scan it for malware. No, actually.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Sorry about this.
No problem.
Yeah, I thought I opened it in PowerPoint earlier, but I guess I didn't.
My default is not PowerPoint.
Okay. There we go. Okay. Okay. So, in conclusion, the wiki on GitHub is very easy to read and understand. While I was going through, I had it open up on one monitor, and on the other monitor I was running through the installation process and running the examples. And it was very easy to read. I know a lot of time on other wikis that they just have a lot of information that's not necessary to when you're installing it, or it just hasn't been updated to the point where some of the instructions don't work anymore. But for this one, all the instructions were very simple, very laid out. They were straightforward, and they all worked. So that was fantastic. The installation is quick. It only takes about 5 or 10 seconds to actually install MIDCA, and that's if you're running it on an older computer. So it's nice to have something that installs in just a couple of seconds. The examples in MIDCA clearly show how it runs to new users, to a new user. Especially the CogSci demo I just demonstrated. To me, it was a great visualization in that it showed every single step that it was going through. Some recommendations I would have to change in the wiki is that if you're running it on Windows and you're using Microsoft's command prompt, it doesn't recognize Java as a default instruction. So you have to go into the control panel and mess around a little bit with your system management. So I would recommend that. And another one I don't have on here is that for the CogSci demo on the wiki, it says there's supposed to be like an arsonist lighting the blocks on fire and that they're supposed to be extinguished and then they block them. I think that's a different demo and I think it was just the wrong name. But otherwise, from a new user's perspective and never working with MIDCA before this or any object-oriented like algorithm like this, it was very easy and it was very a good experience for me. So, any questions?
Yeah, so you said Java. Did you mean Python?
Python. That's what I meant. I meant Python. Python. Yes, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I think
What was the question?
Oh, sorry. The question was I accidentally said Java instead of Python, and I meant to say Python. So, yes, you need Python to run all of this. Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. So I think now another question from Dr. Cox.
Was there anything else that was hard or confusing with the documentation or the file structure or anything that you didn't mention?
So I thought the file structure especially now that I've seen this, it was pretty simple and easy to lay out. You know, there was a folder called examples which had all the examples in it.
What was my question?
Sorry, Dr. Cox's question was there anything about the file structure or anything else that was maybe difficult for me to understand or just from looking at was tough? I would say that no, everything was pretty clearly laid out, especially in the wiki. I messed around with the domains a little bit, but I haven't had much experience with domains, writing domains at least. So otherwise, I would say the wiki was pretty self-explanatory and easy to follow.
Were you already a Python programmer?
So Dr. Cox asked if I was a Python programmer. So I've done a little bit with Python before. I wouldn't say that it's my best language. I'm still learning it more and more, but no, I wouldn't say I've had some experience with Python.
Okay. Any other? Okay. Well,
Okay.
thanks. I think we're going to go ahead.